Chuggalos, welcome back to day 12 of the 2024 Brew Crew podcast calendar. I'm finally joined by my best friend, Chuggalo Mikey. Chuggalo Mikey, say hello to the people.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Brew Crew podcast with your favorite host, Mikey. And, one of these guys over here, Chuggalo Matt.
Awesome. On today's episode, we're recording this a little bit later in the day, so there might be some people might have actually beat us on content. We're doing Prison City, which I've never heard of before.
I think they all did.
They probably did. Oh, really? Prison City Brewing. Of course, it's going to be backwards, but that's fine.
I've seen a few check-ins. Yes, it is backwards.
Yep. And this is their 5.9% four-piece pale, which is a pale ale. It's a hazy pale ale. But it's a four-piece, but it's a single hop hazy pale ale. And it's featuring my favorite hops, which is Citra hops.
Have you ever had a hazy pale ale? I'm not sure I've ever heard of that style.
I don't know. But is it more...
Usually it's a New England IPA, a West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
I don't know where your camera...
I reset it, so because it was focusing back. I don't know right off the top if I've ever had one. I'm excited though because
I can't say I have, so I'm also interested to try new stuff. So try everything at once, right?
Are you ready? It's not primed, so I had to get it primed.
I don't know what your priming is, but it's not. It's gonna hurt.
Yep, that's why I had to get my finger under it. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, that was way off. We'll call that the time delay. Oh my God, on the nose.
We are in different time zones, so
that's a fantastic nose.
All right, we're checking it out. I want to see how hazy this pale ale is.
What's the four-piece if it's single hopped, Mikey?
Is that like a gun or something? A four-piece? I don't know. Or is that you're thinking there's four pieces?
Four pieces of the beer. Well, like German purity laws is 4 ingredients, like malt, barley, hops, water.
This one says single hop series. This batch features our beloved Citra hops. Citrus fruit notes with a single slight orange peel and bitterness. That's what the untapped notes say.
Well, yeah. While we ruminate on this, I'm going to share, and because it's a brand new brewery, let's give them their just due. We're going to check out PrisonCityBrewing.com.
Oh, looks like a prison.
Where both of us are over 21. Mikey's over 41. So that's incredible.
God, I'm double. Oh, thanks for pointing that out, jerk.
So they're out of just outside of Syracuse, New York. So that's where Auburn, New York is. They have multiple locations on Auburn, New York. And then Lake Placid, where all the rich people in New York hang out. And people with tattoos who enjoy pizza.
You ever been there? You ever been to Lake Placid?
Never. That's where the Olympics were back a long time ago, back when Phil was watching.
I have never been to New York State or otherwise.
I'm guessing this is their About Us beer visit events. Okay, so this is their About Us. The intriguing moniker has been synonymous with the rich history and unique character that our city holds. Sorry, Stacy. Nestled within the captivating locality is Prison City, a local gem established 2014. So just as old as Drecker. Since its inception, and Prison City is actually closer to me than Drecker is, but I've heard a lot of Drecker. Our brewery has been committed to crafting exceptional beers that reflect the spirit of Auburn and captivate taste buds of beer enthusiasts near and far. Pride themselves on being super good. That's what they're pretty much saying.
Super good. Excellent. I like super good people.
Everything comes in a pint can, very similar to the four-piece that we're having. A lot of silver bullets. DDH Riot. Lots of IPAs, it looks like. Ditch Party.
Clever names.
Appealing to the high schoolers. Pumpkin Escobar is
as my dad says, someone needs to dig the ditches.
Pumpkin, I like that. Someone needs to dig the ditches. Pumpkin Escobar, I like that name.
We can't all be astronauts.
They are very prolific. Ooh, look, and then you get in their Bomber series, Rhubarb Clink. All right.
I want to try these bombers for sure.
I'm Guava.
You want to go to New York on a beer adventure?
We do a wild ale. There's a couple of places I want to hit up.
You could pour that out. I don't want that.
Back when back when we were able to do Tabor, Tabor was very high on New York breweries.
Tabor, if you're listening, we're looking for sponsors. You can we'll do it.
We'll figure out how to ship to our state since you don't like paying taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so into the can, drinking it super cold, fresh out. I like that this is a basic bitch in the best ways, and the 5.9%, you could drink multiples of these. I would say, dare I say, this is a sustainer beer. I think you could sustain on this and have a good day.
5.9 sustainer. Yeah, maybe. You might call it an early night.
It's well, that's typical.
not unusual.
No.
I can't say. Okay, this makes more sense. So when you say pale ale, it just reminds me of just a straight plain ale, nothing else exciting about it. But the alternate type here says New England / hazy. So now it makes more sense. No.
So it's a New England pale ale, is what, like a subset, is what your research is telling you.
This is what the Untapped says. We want to check it out?
Yeah, check out the Untapped.
All right, so we're gonna try and make this work on the other side here. We'll see if can you see this?
Oh yeah.
We got Untapped, just like I said, 5.9, and then it says Pale Ale - New England / hazy. So there you go. And then there's no bitter units. It's got a 4.08, pretty good. And then let's go into Sethakis's rating. It's like a really nice hop forward pale ale with a tropical personality.
The hilarious thing, Mikey, that number 2 person that's had it on Untapped, that's Yo-Yo.
Nice.
Remember his son that came and picked up his calendar?
Yep, I do. He has been checking in every day with us, so I appreciate that. But I'm not. He can make his own video.
That's hilarious. I just saw him at work. I am not friends with him on Untapped, but I'm going to become friends with him now.
All right, a little more of the Prison City Brewing. He looks like that's got a well rating here too for the actual brewery. And then I always like to go into, they have 523 beers. Their best one is Barrel Aged Whammo, an Imperial Stout. So not a New England hazy, but here we are trying the hazy.
I do like that you only 24 ratings, so I'm wondering if that's one of their bomber series. But I do like that you go to, hey, what does this brewery do the best?
I'm always interested now. It's the gimmick. I like the glass, and then I got to check out if I went to this brewery, if I went to New York, what would I try and get? So it looks like they're Imperial doubles. They do have a New England hazy called Welcome to the Party that is also top rated. So I would also want to try that after trying this.
I'm glad you poured it in the glass. I don't get the hazy. I get more of a West Coast on this.
Did you watch Spills 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how it needs to breathe like a wine and be aerated. And he said you need to pour it in a glass, otherwise you're a heathen.
Yesterday I defended my position and I said, I'm a heathen.
I haven't watched that one yet.
It's my house, but no, I respect and I understand, like, that's to open up flavors, and Sethakis would say the same thing. And Sethakis is imprinted on me more than any other person that some beers need to be warmed up. You can't drink them at the temperature of the porch up at the cabin. I understand that. I
agree
beer.
And I've come around too, because like if you let those stouts sit there, the flavors do change over time. Now, if the flavors change much in my IPA, I'm not usually happy about it.
Yeah. Because some of those things are meant to be hid, and that's what I say about New England's versus West Coast. New England's, there's opportunities to hide more in there because there's more cloudiness, haziness. There's an opportunity to hide adjuncts or missteps in the brew process, where a West Coast is much more clarified and much more tight in its design. But we've gone back and forth on this. We don't know, but it's fun to argue about.
I've been learning a lot this advent calendar about roasting barley too much, or whatever type of hops we put in here.
Yeah. But Citra are the most prolific and most common hops, so thus my favorite, and they're the backbone of a lot of IPAs or pale ales.
Yep. I even learned about fermentable and unfermentable sugars and things after the fact. It's been a fun ride. And we're only halfway through.
This is the halfway marker, and they were talking about yesterday. Phil and JT were talking about dead zones, and last year we notoriously that first week was such a slog to get through. This has been punch after punch. We've had 2 low notes that everyone's has agreed for the most part.
Day 2 sucked. Everyone else has
day 2
been acceptable.
And the third eye blood orange wheat. Everyone's been lower on that one. But everything after that has been.
Hey, but someone did give it a 5, so that's fun. That's fun to see.
Steph gave it a 5.
I told him he should try Blue Moon, and it was just a joke. But he was like, "Well, that doesn't have the same flavor." I understand.
Right. It's not craft, but it's like going to the grocery store and buying a cantaloupe and then going to a farmer's market. Well, it's a different cantaloupe, you know. But yes. it's a fun argument. I'm glad you made that jab.
I gotta throw them out there when I can.
Right. I dig this in the respect that I'm curious on what else they produce. Their number 1 beer is not a pale ale. It's a stout. It's a gimmick stout, but still nonetheless. And they seem to be very prolific. Again, looking at their website, PrisonCityBrewing.com, it makes it illicit. I'm thinking about hooch, and they talked about hooch on last night's episode, JT and Phil too. So
are they making it in their toilet, or what? I'm gonna have to go watch this.
Yeah, the hooch in like prison or whatever. That's
I see.
They use like bread crust or whatever to do it. I'm gonna go first because I don't want to be influenced.
Start us off. Let's go.
I don't want to be influenced by you because I definitely can be.
Probably already got influenced by Seth, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be lower than Seth though. Off the top rope, I give this a 3.75. It's all right. Like this is a beer that on December 30th, when we're probably playing cards or sitting here playing Brotato or something like that, I'm not going to remember this beer, but I might remember the brewery, if that makes sense.
Because it's growing on me.
We haven't had. Yeah.
I actually like it. The longer I've been drinking it, I really get that Citra flavor. I like the Citra notes. But I think I'm going to go with a 3.5 on that. I think that's the one that you would drink again if we're going by the JT's Phil scale. But I wouldn't seek it out to buy it again. But I would definitely have it if someone had it in their fridge. And to plan what you said, I would actually, going more into the brewery and things. Like if you gave me this, I'd be interested in going to that brewery. Like I would want to go see what they have else to offer.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be pissed if I have this. Like I bought a 4 or 6 pack of this. I'm not going to be pissed. Like I'm going to drink it. It would be like one, that I would hand out to somebody, and I would expect the vast, like to be right in this area. I don't think anyone's going to think that this is a banger, but that's perfectly fine. This is a perfectly acceptable and fine experience.
This is an awesome day 12 beer that says it's a pale ale, but it's really a hazy, which I like. I like hazies. I would buy a 4-pack and I would be happy with it.
Would this do well? So you're still in a beer of the month club. Would this do well in your club, you think?
I still run it. I probably wouldn't hear a peep about it if I brought this in and gave it. No one would comment on it. The only way I ever get a comment is if it's really good or really bad. Yeah. So this is kind of the, like you said, even keel, middle of the road.
Middle.
I wouldn't hear a word about it. Which is
awesome.
Fine. That's it's always something you want to try.
It's a mark of mediocrity. And you know what? We need a little bit more middle of the road in this country. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, you don't need a lot more day 2s. You don't need, but we need a lot more day 3s and all the good stuff.
Yep. And tomorrow we have a West Coast, so we could have paired these back, So tomorrow's a legitimate West Coast, so I'm hoping for big things. I don't have the alcohol content in front of me, but it's a West Coast. I know I have that on the list.
If you stick around another hour, we could do that one.
Maybe
get ahead of everyone.
We will see potentially.
Right.
Hey, it's only an hour. It's a scant 64 minutes, and you know me, I can't get ahead and I can't get behind.
Yeah, you got to do them on the day. I only screwed up the once, and that's because I was in a hotel. I actually brought it with me, but it didn't happen. We got back at midnight after playing cards, and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" And Isaac actually said he would, and then everyone went to bed, and I was like, "Ah, piss on it."
There you are in a hotel bathroom.
If I
toilet.
if I slam it now, I'm just gonna like get up to pee all night. So I'm like, oh.
We've all been there, but that's it for day 12 of the 2024 Brew Crew podcast Advent calendar, and this was Prison City 4-piece Pale Ale, 5.9%. Delightful little drinker, pint can. That's
awesome.
it.
Thank you for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 13.
Cheers.